Hello everyone, it is the Future in Tech here, and today we're going to be taking a look at how you can take off in any sort of plane in X-Plane, but the particular plane that I'm using is a Falcon 7X. Now in X-Plane, it's not required that you contact the ATC and connect with the ATC during your or before your flight. However, it is recommended for good practice. So I'm going to show you guys how you can do it with contacting the ATC. So what you're going to want to do in the Falcon 7X is look for the VHF, or in other planes it's COM1, C-O-M-1. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to change this number, whatever it may be, to, if you're at the Seattle airport, change it to 128.00. Okay, and then you're going to hit switch so it becomes active. Then what you're going to want to do is hit enter and file flight plan. The departure ICAO is the current airport that you're at, basically. So for me, that is Seattle, or KC. And I want to arrive at KBFI. En route altitude, that's basically the altitude that you're going to be flying at when not controlled by the ATC. I'm typically like 3,000, whoops, when you're flying really close like I am, but if you're flying a very far distance, then keep it at like 20,000 maybe. Okay, so let's file that. Alright, so now we filed our flight plan, and since we're at 128.00, go ahead and hit enter again, and then request clearance. You're going to notice that that the ATC is now talking to me, and I'm getting this message. So what we're going to want to do is always, with the ATC, you always repeat everything back to you that they say. So what you're going to do is you're going to hit enter again to bring up the ATC menu, and then you're going to hit read back transmission. And you're going to notice that a woman's voice is going to begin speaking. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, what you guys noticed most likely is that it said squawk 4700. That is a number for your transceiver. You're going to want to locate that in the Falcon 7X. It is under ADF or ATG, and you're going to want to modify this number so that it says 4700, or whatever your squawk number may be. Okay, there we go. So now that we've gotten clearance, we're going to want to change it to the tower number, which for this is 119.90. Alrighty, and then you're going to want to make that active. Then you're going to hit request taxi, and they're going to tell me where I'm supposed to taxi. Now, before I get taxiing, I'm going to give you guys a very important tip. Do not go over 50 to 75 knots when taxiing, or they will think that you are about to take off, and they will give you a bunch of trouble about that. So, alright, so of course disengage your brakes by pressing B, or if you've assigned a button on your throttle, joystick, that is. Okay, so let's speed up and follow that yellow line that you most likely see there. There's a very faint yellow line, and you're going to just follow that. You don't have to go directly on top of it, but make sure that you're, within 20 feet of it. And as I said, watch your speed, because if you go too fast, they will terminate your connection with the ATC and have you start all over. So, alright. There's that line again. So I'm just going to keep following that line until it says cleared for takeoff, and then I'm going to repeat that and take right off. And, alright, so let's give it a little. And you guys be sure to watch the next video on how to, what to do, best practices and procedures mid-flight. Okay, so now we're getting a cleared for takeoff. So be sure you're aligned with the runway, and then I'm going to repeat this back.
Heading 130, runway 16 left, cleared for takeoff, Alpha, Foxtrot, Tango, Echo, Romeo, 2.
Alright, so we're going to speed all the way up, disengage the brakes. Oops, we're not on the runway yet. Gotta be sure to take this runway. And you notice that now this is runway 16 left, or 16L. And we're going to speed up all the way. Once we're going, typically for a plane this small, the pickup speed is like 100 knots. But for a plane like a 747, it can be as much as like 200. So, we're getting there. Once the speed here gets above 100, I'm going to attempt to lift up. Alright, so it's up there now, so I'm going to pull back on my joystick, and we don't quite have enough speed yet. Okay, there we go. So basically it's just a matter of timing. Okay, so once we get a fairly good amount above the ground, I'm going to give it about 100 feet off the ground. Once we got 100 feet, I think I'm going to just pull up the landing gear. You do that by pressing G. Alright, so I'm above 100 feet off the ground, and you will notice that my landing gear is coming in. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is wait for the ATC to contact me, and then they're going to tell me to change frequencies to the tower that I'm flying to. There we go. So notice that it says 124.2, so be sure to repeat that, by the way.
Contact center on 124.2, Alpha, Foxtrot, Tango, Echo, Romeo, 2.
And do not forget to put it on active. And then it's going to say check in with controller and cancel IFR. Be very careful not to hit cancel IFR. That'll cancel your contract with the ATC. Alright guys, so this concludes my video number 1 on the X-Plane series. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Be sure to watch the second video in this series on how to best practices for mid-flight. So I'll see you guys then, and thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe.